everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I'm here today with my July wrap-up since we are somehow in the month of August. I don't know how that happened. But I read 9 books in the month of July. I wasn't sure what to expect because we were gone for quite a bit of it. There's the 4th of July festivities, all of that fun stuff. But I did a really fun thing. So if you haven't been keeping up with some of the vlogs I've been putting out there, I switched Kindles with Amber from Books and Beaches. So this is her Kindle. It's a little smaller than mine, but I got used to it. So we switched our Kindles for the month, and I'm giving it back to her this week, I believe, this next coming week at book club. And we had so much fun switching Kindles. So I'll talk about the 5 books I read off of her Kindle to kind of kick things off, and then I'll get into the physical books that I picked up as well. So first one I grabbed off of hers, I did use the Roll Your Next Read board to help me kind of narrow down my options because there's so many books on this Kindle that I wanted to read. I did make sure I did not pick books that I had either that I already own physically or that I have on my own Kindle. So I was trying to do books I didn't have access to. So my first one I read was an Ellen Hildebrand book that was The 5-Star Weekend, and it followed our main character, whose name escapes me at the moment. I don't remember. But she has a bit of a social following. She's a bit of an influencer. She does a cooking, she hosts a website. She does, I believe she does demos and stuff like that, but she's pretty popular. And her husband passes away. In order to kind of help herself go through the grief process, she hosts a 5-star weekend for 5 friends, right? Or was it only 4? 5 friends? 4 friends? 5? No, I'm gonna question myself. Anyways, for friends from each kind of era of her life. So her childhood best friend, her best friend in college, her best friend while raising babies, and then her current best friend. So there's 4 invited, 5 total with her included. So it goes over kind of the relationship she has with each of them and the 5-star weekend she has planned for them. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to read more Ellen Hildebrand. I get sucked into her books pretty easily. I gave this one, I want to say 4 stars. So still very good. The next book I picked up, my Roll Your Next Read prompts was like backlist author. So I tried to look for an author I'd already read and a backlist book from her. So I read Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. Oh, this was great. Quite the mystery. It involves 2 couples who seem to have perfect lives, seem to have perfect relationships. One tends to be a little more well off. One tends to be more of like, I think their relationship was just a little bit better. One person out of this 2-couple situation ends up dead. And we go through trying to figure out what exactly happened and what are some of the secrets and where are there suspicions, are there not? Did he just leave? Was it a relationship issue? Was it more than that? It was good. I definitely got sucked into that one. That one was one I felt like I couldn't quite put it down. Mary Kubica gets a little slow in the middle of her books, and I think I'm kind of used to that. So it didn't bug me as much because I think I just kind of expected a little bit, but I could see how maybe others didn't like it as much because of that. Overall, I gave it, I want to say a good 3.5, 3.75. It was a good book to read. Definitely a great book to read on a vacation because it was quick paced and shorter. Like, it kept you interested and kept you wanting to read when you're probably either getting back in a hotel late at night and you're tired, or you're trying to squeeze in some chapters before the basketball game starts. It was pretty good. The next book that I picked up off of her Kindle was Love and Saffron. Who wrote this one? I'm just checking my notes. Kim Fay. This one has been one that has been on my radar for quite some time. My best friend Lindsey read this. It is I guess you would call it an epistolary novel. They're two characters writing letters back and forth to each other. Centers around food, which my best friend is such a foodie, big time foodie. And it's, they find each other with this shared love of food, and they continue to have these correspondence over the years. It was a really sweet read, very, very quick. I think I finished that in like one day. Yeah, it was only 200 pages. Gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I enjoyed that one. And then the last book I picked up on my Kindle, I actually had put a bit of a survey out on Instagram because I was having a hard time picking my next one, and this is the one that got the most votes. So I read Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. I would call this more of like a cozy mystery, a little quirky at times, but our main character is in the process of killing one of her characters in her book, which is based on a real life person. And so then during this vacation that they're on, this real character starts to have some death threats. And it appears that like she's considering doing it, but is she really doing it? And it kind of goes from there. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. I kind of went into it a little skeptical, but was very sweetly surprised by how much I did enjoy it. I said a quick, quirky, fun book, perfect for vacation. It really was perfect for vacation. Yeah, I liked it. It just came out this year as well, and it's part of a series, so it's book number 1. So I'm kind of curious to see where it goes to from here, but we'll see. But I liked it. So those were the 5 books that I read off of Amber's Kindle. So thank you, Amber, for sharing. Then I have 4 that I had picked up. One of them I listened to on audio. This is Change of Heart by Jodi Picoult. It's one of my 5-star predictions. I will only say that it was not 5 stars, but I'll go into more about this at the end of August and what I thought of it. This one follows June. She is waiting for a heart transplant for her daughter. She's gone through some pretty big tragedy involving a specific person who is in prison because of that tragedy. And this person, his name is Shay, is wanting to donate his heart to June's daughter. Jodi always has a pretty big theme, a pretty big controversial theme that she has in all her books. This one is definitely centered around religion, and I gave it 4 stars. It was good. It was a long book to listen to, but it was good. So I'll talk more about that at the end of August. Then let's see, I read When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This was one that I had pulled out as a book I wanted to get to this summer. This was really sweet. So we have Ray Rose, who is this superstar, like think Taylor Swift, like superstar. And she's getting a bit burnt out, and so she decides that she is going to take lessons from her favorite movie, Roman Holiday, where those characters kind of run off to Rome to kind of take a break. But she can't quite run off to Rome. So she finds Rome, Kentucky, or Rome, Tennessee. Rome, Kentucky. So she decides to go to Rome, Kentucky to kind of get away from it all. And of course she meets Noah Walker in a desperate way. Her car breaks down basically in front of his house, and he is very reluctant to help her, but he does anyways. And he's a baker. He owns a bakery, and it made me want fresh baked goods so bad. But I gave this 4 stars. Super sweet closed door romance. So if you're looking for that, and yeah, hits in here trying to find refuge, all that good stuff. It was really, really great and really sweet. It was a quick read. I liked that one. I enjoyed that a lot. If you need a good palate cleanser, I would go with that one. Let's see, the next, I don't want to say the next, but another book I picked up in July was The Second Mrs Aster. This is by Shayna Abe. This one, I think I got this recommendation watching a TikTok video. Basically books they recommended based on the Titanic. And that's exactly what this was. So this follows our main character, Madeline, actually based off of a true character. She was the wife of John Jacob Astor, the second wife of him. Follows their relationship, how they met, to getting married, to being on their honeymoon, to ending up on the Titanic. We have story before it happens, story during the Titanic, and story after it happens. I thought it was written in a very unique way. She is basically like writing the story to her son, kind of explaining the relationship between her and John Jacob Astor. So I liked that you got that glimpse of like how she felt towards her son and the story behind it, and then kind of her own words about it. And then we shift into a bit of a different perspective, giving us more details, if that makes sense at all. Writing was so beautiful. So beautiful. The way this was written and put together and the way the story was told is everything, almost everything I want in historical fiction. I do like dual timelines. I like present day and then going in the past. It's the only thing it didn't have, but everything else, I absolutely loved this and it was a pleasant surprise. And did I give you 5 stars? I did give you 5. This is the only 5-star book that I read in July. This was fantastic. I loved it. The almost last one, because I forgot about one more Kindle book that I was able to read on Amber's Kindle. I'm going through my list, which is in order, not, you know, I'm messing myself all up, but you're along for the ride. I actually just finished this on the last day of July. I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I am really loving Catherine Center. I love how she writes. I love how she writes her characters. I love her female characters. This one, we have our main character. She is a bodyguard. She works for a private security firm and in Texas. So she usually is protecting like oil executives and CEOs and stuff like that. And she finds herself being dumped right after her mother's funeral. So not in a really great place, but throws herself into work. And so she is given a new assignment, and he is like royalty within like the film and movie industry, like big time actor. And he comes to town, back to his hometown, to help his mom who is fighting cancer, and she is assigned to protect him. Of course, with some rom-coms, he doesn't want his parents to know that there's a threat, so she has to pretend to be his girlfriend, and we just go from there. There's some pretty funny parts. There's fantastic. There was a part, I mean, Catherine had me hook, line, and sinker believing some things, and then I was just like, oh my god, how did I not see that? It was great. I loved it. I gave that 4 stars as well. I did read one memoir I was reading this kind of in June and July. This is Jennifer's Way by Jennifer Esposito. My oldest daughter was just diagnosed with celiac disease in the middle of June. So I've been, of course, where do I turn but to books? This is her memoir on her journey with celiac, from being diagnosed to being able to adjust her lifestyle to be able to be living with this disease. Celiac disease is a disease where you cannot eat gluten. So way worse things in the world. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely an adjustment for us. This one helped me. I was trying to get my daughter to read it. She doesn't really have an interest in it at the moment, but it helped me to understand some of the emotions and some of the things that Jennifer went through, knowing to kind of look for them and help support my daughter through that as well. And 3 stars. It's hard to like rate a book like this. It was good. I definitely enjoyed her telling her story at the beginning. We got into some of her advice going forward, and this book was written in 2014, so this was 10 years ago. So things are slightly different now. So some of the things that she was saying in here now isn't necessarily the same, because of course science is always advancing and learning and improving. So I didn't find as much value out of that section of the book, but that was just kind of towards the end of it. There's some recipes in here that I want to try, especially the sweet potato fries, because I love sweet potato fries. But yeah, it was great. I borrowed it from the library at first, and then I ended up purchasing it on Pango because there are recipes in here. And I am also hoping that my daughter eventually does want to show some interest into reading up on how celiac has touched other people's lives. So it was a really valuable read. I enjoyed it. If you're new to the world of celiac, I would recommend it. Maybe just the first part. So I like that one. So what am I reading now? I have found myself, you know, falling back in my old ways of reading way too many books at one time. So I have my small stack here. I am but pretty close to finishing Ordinary Grace by William Kent Krieger. This is my first William Kent Krieger book. This is for book club, and I have a little over a week to finish it. I mean, I'll finish it this weekend. But 1960s Minnesota, we follow a boy named Frank. He's 13, as it's a very crazy summer he's experiencing, to say the least. I am buddy reading The Life We Bury by Alan Eskins with Jen from The Bookish Blonde. This is my favorite book, one of my favorite books of all time, and I think this is the third time I've read it. And I love Alan Eskins' writing. I cannot say enough about this book. This is fantastic. You'll hear me rave about it when I'm done. I'm going to be picking up with Michelle and Amber. I'm going to be reading Bodies to Die For by Lori Brand. This just came out in June. Mystery thriller type thing, really short chapters, which I'm loving, but we're going to get that started. I need to get that started like right now, because we're going to talk about the first 100 pages like soon. So I'll get on that. Then Amber decided to tell me that she just got a NetGalley copy of the new TJ Newman. So I'm going to start that as well and hopefully get it done before I see her on Thursday. So where's my cover? It is called Worst Case Scenario by TJ Newman. It's of course got a plane. Basically the premise is this plane is going to hit a nuclear power plant. So we'll see. That's gonna be awesome. And then I have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune on my list that I want to get to this summer. I'm trying to get through my summary books, so I'm hoping we get through the rest of that stack. But this one seems to be the one that's kind of drawing me in the soonest. I did read Meet Me at the Lake by her, but I've heard this one is even better, so we're gonna pick that up. And then I just happen to have a stack and I wanted to share with you guys. I have new book covers and new book sleeves in my Etsy shop. Book sleeve. I've got Belle book sleeves. I have these polka dot book sleeves. And then these are all book covers that go around like your hardback, hardback. I still only have the size for large hardcover books because that's just the fabric that I cut. So it was done. So there's a variety, to say the least, here. There are some fall themes. There's some more Belle, some leaves, and some ghosts. I kind of just used the fabric up that I had in my stash. And then some like fun pastel boho-ish ones. And yeah, there's a whole stack. So I'll leave the link to my Etsy shop below to check that out. I am in the midst of still finishing up some fabric that I already had, and I'm already kind of searching for fall and Halloween fabric to work on some more for you. So hopefully that will be coming soon. So thank you again for all of your support with the Etsy shop. I absolutely love doing it. So I appreciate that you can help me out with my fabric buying habit, basically. So I think that's everything I have that I wanted to share with you. Thank you for sticking around this long. Had a great reading month. Let me know down below how your reading month has gone. Head over to Amber's channel and see what she read off of my Kindle. I would love to swap Kindles again. Just let me know if you want us to share about it or vlog about it again. I think it was a really fun thing to do. Highly encourage you to do it if you have a friend close enough that you trust enough to switch Kindles with. It was super fun. You kind of get a different collection of books to check out. So yeah, I think that's about it. So comment below, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time.